What was inside this pyramid? 480 feet high and 4,500 years old, that researchers sent a robot with a camera inside just to see it. The robotic camera stopped at one point because there was a stone slab in front of it. Researchers believe that behind this slab lay a secret that had been buried for the last 4,500 years. They had to uncover this secret at any cost. So, they attached a drill machine to the robot, which drilled a hole in the stone slab. A camera was then set inside this hole, which saw a sight on the other side of the slab that no one had seen for the last 4,500 years. In Egypt, there are a total of 138 tall pyramids, which have faced dozens of earthquakes and many dangerous storms over thousands of years, but not one of them has moved. Among them, the tallest and largest pyramid is called the Great Pyramid of Giza, and the area of its base is 31 acres. This means that surprisingly, not one or two, but 9 whole football fields can fit inside this pyramid. According to estimates, a total of 2.3 million large stones were used in this pyramid, many of which weighed 50 tons. If its total weight is estimated, the pyramid weighs 6 million tons, which is equal to the weight of 12 Burj Khalifas. But what was the purpose of building such tall and magnificent pyramids? Thousands of years ago, when humans had no tools, how were the walls of these pyramids leveled inch by inch? How were 50-ton stones cut into square shapes and lifted to a height of 480 feet without any crane? And which engineers were behind their construction, who made these pyramids earthquake-proof and set all their sides at an exact angle of 51.5 degrees? You will know all this in today's video. Let's start. Challenge number 1. For centuries, various research teams have been racking their brains to understand the construction technique of this pyramid, how each side of this pyramid was set exactly north, south, east, and west without a compass. Many experts believe that the architects of that time must have first found land that could bear the weight of millions of tons of stone. After that, with the help of pole stars, which helped determine the Earth's poles, each side of the pyramid was marked. No compass and no optical instrument. Just with this basic technique, the question of this pyramid was set thousands of years ago, and that too with zeros. Challenge number 2. The next challenge was leveling the ground. If the 13-acre plot of land on which this pyramid was to be built had been even slightly out of level, it would have been absolutely impossible for this mountain of 2.3 million stones to stand. Now, to level this ground, the engineers of that time had neither a laser leveler nor a spirit level. Experts believe that a trench was dug on all 4 sides of the construction site and filled with water, and then the water level of one side was matched with the water level of the other side. The part of the land that did not match the water level would have been cut and leveled with the help of chisels and hammers. Many experts believe that ancient Egyptians also used this simple tool, which has wooden pieces on both sides and a stone tied with a rope exactly in the center. If the stone touched the ground and its rope was exactly on the center line, it meant that the base ground was perfectly level. Challenge number 3. Now, at the pyramid's construction site, directions were set, marking was done, and the ground level was also set. Now it was time to start construction, for which millions of tons of heavy and large stones were required. But they had neither grinders nor jackhammers to cut these stones. Nevertheless, they cut 50-ton stones, and also gave them square or rectangular shapes. But with whose help? Yes, it was only with the help of this plant that the stones were cut. Experts believe that the chisels used in the pyramid's construction were not made of copper alone, because they also knew that copper is soft and cannot cut stone. Therefore, a chemical, arsenic, was also included in it. These chisels, made of copper and arsenic, were hammered onto the stones with wooden hammers, and after several hours of hard work, large stones were shaped. Challenge number 4. Now, since this special type of stone which is called limestone today, was being cut 250 kilometers away from the pyramid construction site in the city of Torah. The problem was transporting these stones to Giza. Each stone weighed 50 tons, which is equivalent to the weight of about 3 passenger buses, and millions of such stones were to be used in just one pyramid. No animal could have been used to transport such a large weight in that era, nor did they have trucks available. Even if this work had to be done in today's modern era, transport companies would face a considerable challenge. Surprisingly, this work was done with the help of boats and ships. Yes, they took advantage of the river between Torah and Giza, and stones were loaded onto large boats and transported to the pyramid site. Experts believe that this work was not easy at all. At least an army of 500 laborers would have been engaged at one time for the loading and unloading of such large stones from ships. Challenge number 5. The team of experts researching the construction of this pyramid had now found answers to many of their questions, but one thing kept bothering them. The limestone was cut, transported, and started to be placed one on top of the other during construction. The problem was how these stones were finally lifted to such a height. Many experts believe that it was planned before the pyramid's construction that they would either go up through spiral tracks or in a zigzag manner. But it is certain that 50,000 kilogram stones would have been pulled up with the help of an army of laborers. Challenge number 6. The matter was not just about millions of laborers cutting limestone with chisels and hammers and transporting such large stones. Compartments, their entrances, and many small tunnels were also built inside this pyramid. Everything else was fine, but one thing surprised the experts, and that was that the stone used in the inner compartments was not limestone but granite. Yes, granite is considered the hardest stone in the world after diamond. Even in today's modern era, granite cannot be cut without the help of large grinders. Many archaeological experts from all over the world were also given a visit to the pyramid, but no one found any clue as to how the Egyptians cut such a hard stone as granite so cleanly 4,500 years ago. Finally, after many years, experts also solved this mystery. The Egyptians cut the granite so cleanly with a saw that had no teeth. Yes, this toothless saw was run on granite by putting weight on both its sides, and gravel was poured in between. Experts believe that it would take 4 months to cut such a large stone in this way. So, what was the purpose of building the pyramid? How many laborers worked at one time to build these pyramids? And what sight did the robotic camera see inside the stone slab of the pyramid that no one had seen for the last 4,500 years? You will know all this and much more in part 2 of this video. Thank you very much for your loving comments and likes. See you in the next fantastic part of the video.